Godzilla. What more do I have to say? Since 1954, Godzilla has stomped out tons and tons of sequels. If you think the number of the Fast and the Furious movies were ridiculous, well, you haven't seen any of the Godzilla movies. With a few exceptions, from now on until May, I'm going to review all of the Godzilla movies made by Toho, but I will reserve the American-made Godzilla movies for last. So, here's my review of the Godzilla movies. In the 1950s, the fear of the atomic bomb was common. The one nation that feared the atomic bomb the most was Japan, having experienced it firsthand. The movie company named Toho decided to make a movie that would sum up that fear. That movie would be known as Gojira. The English translation? Godzilla. Gojira is about various ships being destroyed near Japan, and scientists discover that a monster named Gojira is to blame. It wreaks havoc on Tokyo, and the military are useless against it. Gojira is probably the best giant monster movie ever made. I love how dark and realistic it is. In fact, the people in this movie take this as a real event. The suit looks pretty cool, but the suit itself was definitely not the case. The Godzilla suit weighed about 200 pounds, and being inside of it was like being inside a boiler room. The only downside I can think of are the characters, and the movie slows down every time they have too much screen time. But the effects for its time are pretty impressive. Without a doubt, Gojira is the best of the Godzilla series made by Toho. I give Gojira 3.5 stars out of 4. A few years later, America would make their own cut for American audiences. They changed the title to Godzilla King of the Monsters. The big difference between this one and the original film is that they added an American actor to appeal to American audiences. The American character is a reporter named Steve Martin, and no, not that Steve Martin. Another big change was the dubbing, and yes, this is what the Godzilla movies are kinda infamous for.
He's meeting with the security officials.
Although I do like how he narrates what is happening and adds to the realism of the movie, it's a minor step down from the Japanese movie. You can also tell what was from Gojira and what was shot in Hollywood. I give Godzilla King of the Monsters 3 stars out of 4. Just after the success of Gojira, Toho made a direct sequel called Godzilla Raids Again, but in America it was called Gigantus the Fire Monster. Why? It's not Gigantus, it's Godzilla. A pilot discovers that Godzilla is alive, and now there's another giant monster named Anguirus. The two fight it out, and it's the first time in a Godzilla movie where Godzilla fights another monster. Sadly, it's a huge step down from the first one. They don't explain why Godzilla is alive. When they show the stock footage of the first movie, it's a bit far-fetched. I mean, how did amateur video catch these many impressive angles? The effects are not that impressive, and there are times where you can obviously tell when they sped up the fights. Is it me, or does it sound like The Mummy? Easily a step down and disappointing. I give Godzilla Raids Again 2 stars out of 4.